Hello and welcome to the Handicapable Black Nerd channel, where my view of everything nerdy and creative is a whole new tea. Mm, yeah, I'm still working on it. But today, I don't know, I find it interesting when people say that politics aren't in writing. And yeah, some people are like, why are you talking about politics again? Because politics is in artwork, it's in writing. Shakespeare, like, I don't know, sometimes, like, especially when I was in college, because I read it in high school, but even in college, my Shakespeare professor, like, I don't know, like, sometimes, like, I didn't get him until, like, the end of the semester. It's like he had such a passion for it, but I wish I could have a Shakespeare class where we take out news articles that go like that even show and represent the current events of how things relate today. Because even with Romeo and Juliet and the whole fact of the marriage and the age gap and things like that. Oh, did you guys hear? Oh, okay. I mean, it's a little, but yeah, I would bring out so many different examples, but there's that Ohio situation where that young girl, I think she got married around 15 or 16. And some family members say that the thing she joined a cult or it was for religious reasons, which I plan on bringing religion into the storylines and how it's political as well, but but she ended up having a kid almost every single year for years. I forgot. I want to say she had at least 15 kids and a set of twins. So, yeah, 15 to 17 kids, something like that. But the fact of running off, getting married, and the families not liking each other, that all fits that's situation. And let me who the kids' education is different because anyway, yeah. So I just wish, I don't know, there was a class where you could just bring up current events today or even within the last 40, 50 years and just show how things are repeating themselves. These stories are still relevant and just, I mean, yeah, they're not going to be exactly Othello, interracial marriage, and just even the legalizing it, but how some states and some people don't agree with it, and the hate within, the thought of it. So I don't know. It's like, to me, yeah, I'm a nerd. And you know what? So since no one else has taught it, and the I was kind of thinking of doing that with some of the Disney movies, because I know Elio. I broke that down a little bit about a year ago. It's the cutest, sweetest movie. I was like, I plan on watching it a couple more times because I want to break it down even more. But the power of language, yeah, it's like it was about language and DEI and how DEI strengthens people and the diversity, the brain links, and yeah. So if you haven't seen any of I've only done a few, which I keep saying I'm gonna keep going and doing different things, but then yeah, the guy that you lied to you and breaks up, yeah, so you already know about that. But yeah, my being black, being a woman with a disability, things just keep happening, and then even getting back into the dating world. Ooh, I already have enough material since 48 hours of men just, there's one guy who literally told me, you have no choice. You're either going to be my girlfriend or I want nothing to do with you. And so I'm like, all right, so I guess you want nothing to do with me. So then I'm like, okay, so let's block each other's numbers. And then, like, seconds later, no, 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 don't block my number. No, don't. No, why are you doing this to me? I just want to be your man. It's like, hold up, wait. Mm, you hardly know me. We've never even seen each other face to face. So, yeah. Yeah, that's just one example. That's just one example. So, yeah, trust, babies. But, okay. Even when it comes to, I don't know, it's just when I keep hearing booktubers, either they talk about there's too many words on the page and people are writing politics into it, and or even with Children of Blood and Bone, I plan on reading. I hope it's like, I don't know, it's like it was on my mind. I wanted to read it when it first came out and stuff, but I forgot. I'm away from the church, but like, I still have a lot of church people around me. It was either a family member or someone in the church when I mentioned it. Oh, I don't think that's a good book. Like, yeah, so, but now, especially after the passing of my mom and stuff like that, it's like I have more room away from it. So now I can officially finally do things that I want to do. I can take that deep breath. So yeah, so I'm gonna read that book. And there's a few other. Oh, I'm not gonna, like, I never want to read Harry Potter. I don't know, like, yeah, yeah. If you're a fan, congratulations. But just know, like, because I studied the culture of it a lot, and the fact that it's basically fifth grade level reading, that's one reason why so many people loved it, is because they were able to relate and able to dive into the material because it's fifth grade level. So there's nothing like, okay, I'm not going to say there is symbolism and things like that within the book, but it's very easy to, yeah. So I don't want mine as nearly as easy. I'm not saying I want college level or, like, I mean, I'd be happy with sixth to eighth grade, you know. I would be pleased with that, but I don't want fifth grade. No, no, no. And oh yeah, I'm gonna have some topics that anyone under 18 shouldn't be reading anyway. So, because with, like, Shakespeare, he had grown adult stuff in there, which is, I don't know, it's like it was funny reading it in high school, but then the teachers didn't really go into some of the parts, and, like, especially when Juliet and Romeo were, about to do that. Yeah, they made sure they're like, oh, okay, yeah, next page, next, yeah, and we're like, oh, okay. And then even going to watch the movie, I I'm still trying. I remember one of the teachers went to play the movie, and I'm like, later on, especially in college, I was like, hold up, wait a minute, how do we miss that part? But anyways, not like, but yeah, it's like within the novel, within the story, there's so many crucial parts, and when you're thinking about even the age, you have to think about, because yeah, mine are not for kids, so I can put what, like, yeah, I'm putting whatever I want. But then at the same time, I am going to put a warning at the beginning because I'm going to be talking about mental and physical ABUSC on and off a lot, probably. So if you can't handle that, my book's not gonna be for you. And some people, like, I've had people ask, why are you gonna put that in there? You shouldn't put that in there, because that's part of my life, and I think people should know about that, and also the dangers of not believing people with undiagnosed disabilities and even diagnosed disabilities, and how people dehumanize and mistreat those who are different than them just because they're different, just because they don't understand. Instead of asking questions, they want to tease and mock and make sure that person knows that they are different. They're an outsider. We need more characters like that, because if I don't, if you don't write and create characters like that, then people aren't going to read about them. They're not going to at least start understanding, start analyzing, start even thinking within themselves. How would I treat this person? What would I say to this person? Because, as many studies have shown, the more you read, the more empathy you have. And that's one reason why a lot of Republicans don't, they only want you to read the Bible. Yeah. Mm-hmm. 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 And I'm thankful that I was an English major in college, and even in high school I took, like, yeah, it's like I couldn't stand the honors English teacher. He was a nightmare. I'm disgusted by I don't know, there was a lot of teachers there where you could just tell they only, like, some of them probably only got that job because they got summers off, to be honest. And some of them, they had their favorites and they made sure you knew who their favorites were. So, yeah, and they made sure that you did not feel like welcomed whatsoever. And some of that's going to be in the novel because, yeah, it's a part of life, it's a part, or at least part of some people's lives. And trying to dig in and figure out how to put imperfections in my character, because sometimes I feel bad. I'm like, oh, I'm gonna have her, and I'm like, oh no, but right just now I realized another thing I can put within my character that would make her imperfect, because like, and yeah, she's gonna have a disability, so she's already imperfect, but being having a disability, like, and I don't want to, I know some people are going to put me down for that, but while living my life, everyone's put programmed that in my head. Everyone has made sure to tell me. They tell me, oh, you're either my dad or a family member's, oh, we're not going to have to worry about you getting married. No one's going to marry you. And men have, yeah, they pretended that they were interested in me or wanted me. But no, they just knew no one else was going to want me. And so that's going to be in parts of the novel. Then classmates and teachers, and telling them about what was going on at home. They didn't believe me. Or they would go and tell my mom, oh, your daughter's saying terrible things about you. So then it gets worse. So it's like when I build my character, building the emotion, and I mean, her situations, it's going to be fiction, but it's going to be based off of things that have actually happened to me. And building the scenes is like with the houses they live in. I looked up different style houses, especially that are going to be in the state that they live in. And one thing that I've realized, because I was like, no, I want to make sure they know what this one building is or is like. So I'm going to be looking up architecture for this type of building, and even with the restaurants they go to, it's like, I and I know some people are going to be like, you don't have to do all that, but when you're a black woman with a disability, people pick on and point out things. Like, my story's already not going to be perfect to so many other people. So I have to do my absolute best. So many people told me I'm never going to get married, or I shouldn't have kids because my kids are going to end up with a disability, or what kind of mother would I be with a disability? And it's like, with my disability, no one's going to hire you. What kind of job are you going to get? So when I'm criticized almost every day of my life, everyone telling me what I can and cannot do, I'm I'm nervous, I'm scared, and so it's like, but the story. It's like I wrote the rough draft in 2019, and I don't want to say it was rough, but it didn't have my heart in it. I was still scared and I was still questioning what was going on with me. And it turned out everyone else was lying to me. I was the one telling the truth. So now I can add that truth, and I can, like, I love true crime. And at first I was like, I don't know if I'm good enough of a writer to put that in there. But then, I'm like, you know what? Go big or go home. So, with the world that I'm building, because it's going to be a state, but it's going to be my version of the state. So, looking up the linguistics of how they speak there. Because did I want it in Michigan? No. I need space from where a lot of my trauma, well, majority of my traumas happen. So I kind of feel if I can at least put my character in a different state, it's kind of like a fresh breath of air for myself. It's and I made sure it was in a Democrat state too. Yeah, so yeah, sorry, not sorry. Majority of my books and stories, I mean, they might be in purple states, but yeah, I'm not going to torture my character in words. No, hey, you you might be like, it's not torture. It's like, I like being black, female, and disabled. I already go through enough, and some of the worst comments are from dot dot dot. Guess who? Yeah, if you pictured that, yeah, it's like I bet you pictured who I'm thinking you're picturing. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. So, yeah. So yeah, my characters, yeah. Because even with another character for another series that I'm working on, is I wanted her in New York, but then there's another version of her type of character. So then I'm like, okay, back to the drawing board. So pulling out the map, doing research, trying to figure out what is a state where she would properly belong, and especially with the setting and the situations and the circumstances, where would she fit? So yeah, it's kind of like stiletto heels and stuff. I want them to be comfortable and, be able to last a long time, not just, okay, one book you're in this state. Okay, now we got to switch because my feet are hurt. Yeah, no, I didn't want that kind of feel. I didn't want that kind of, you know. But, but now it takes me back to the website and the candles, because I want some of the candles to be like you're sitting in the rooms of certain chapters. And that's kind of how I started with the candles. But then I came up with, like, the intro candle is something that speaks of volumes, and it makes clear who my demographic is for. But yeah, especially for my first novel, there are certain chapters and rooms within the story where, while you're reading it, I just want the reader to sit back and relax. And that's why I'm also doing the cookbook, so that it's like you can even maybe eat one of the treats for, like, I don't know which candle and which, item they cooked or whatever, but if they try to create it in unison, oh my gosh, that, see, I would really want to, the um their interpretation. Oh, so yeah, I'm really excited. I'm nervous. So nervous, but excited, because I'm going to need to name the candle, but am I going to name the candle after the chapter, or am I going to name the candle, like, yeah, so basically so that's another thing that I really need to think about. And also, like with the cookbook, am I going to put this would be an excellent nibble or bite to eat with, and list the candle that complements it, and or if you don't like this vibe or this candle, here are some alternatives that you can put like that you might enjoy with it. So, and even with I plan on doing with the planning with the menu, this food item is perfect for date nights or girls like sleepovers and stuff like that. So this way, like it can at least give ideas. And yeah, and I kind of want to post on my website small businesses that sell some of the food items to help them out, because yeah, I'm all about small business, and especially, well, I'm starting my own small business, so of course, but I really want to help and support other small businesses. And so if they have ingredients and like if they sell food items that will be great for, the recipe, then I want to be like, yep, here, go to their website. And it's like if I can at one point get a affiliate link, hey, I'm a business girl, I gotta think business at least, and especially a small business, so I gotta, different streams of income. But that would be great and perfect. And I would love to, like, if I can do that, I would ask for them to have an interview on the Nerd channel, and they can talk about their business, their passions, how they started, and especially it's like being if it's virtual and stuff, they can, if they want to give a tour of their facility, or even like their own recipe and do something of their own, that would be chef's kiss. So, but yeah, these are my different ideas. I'm working on the branding. Working on the website and the business plan so I can apply for the grants. And it's like with my labels, they're done, but now I change, like with one of them. Oh, I think only one of them is going to be one way, and then I'm going to switch the style of the other two to make sure that people know which side's the front and back. Now the hiccups, great. I keep doing that. I keep getting hiccups in the middle of episodes. Yeah, maybe that's a hint. I don't know. But if you listen to not yesterday, but the days before's episode, even thinking about business, like watching his story really made me think a lot about my setup and goals, because I'm gonna have to be so careful, because if I let them in the house, or if I once I'm able to hire people and everything, but it's like first, I'm trying to save up so that I can buy a house with connection, because having a disability, the winter times, things like that, hey, I it's like, especially in the winter, it's like I want to be able to, I don't know if I'll be able to have a fireplace in the work area, but it'd be really nice to have like a nice little fireplace going. And I love charcuterie boards. And I know it's like some people might be like, oh, you're too corny, or I know you're not going to do all that, but these are my goals, these are my dreams. It's like I want my like the employees to be able to come in. I have like charcuterie boards at least, once, twice a week or whatever. Or, it's like at least some food stocked in there that they can either make some sandwiches, but oh, I'm gonna have one of those panini grill things. So, because nice hot melted cheese and, toasted bread. Oh, I don't play with that. Anyway, but it's like we can work as a team and make sure, especially when I have the wholesale and everything, and then with branding and trying to get into magazines and different like type of writings and things, or even seeing if I can fit myself into the news or whatever in some way or fashion. it's like, so yeah, it's like, because I want to be hiring someone for to help me with assembly. And another thing I'm going to be working on is an assembly book. Everything from each candle, like the name, what color, how to make that color, and the recipe. So, especially if I have book readings, because, yeah, being like I'm working on different streams of income, I want to be able to go and do book readings and things like that and go to events. If I'm blessed enough to make all of this stuff happen and I get to travel and things, I want my employees to be able to like come in, get the candle journal out, go to the like well, first I'll go online, see what orders there are, see what's in stock and things like that, replenish, because I'll probably even have a list of, okay, step by step, what do we need to do Mondays, Tuesday, like have different things like set up for each day to make sure that we don't fall behind. And this will help a lot with procrastination, because especially with everything I'm trying to do right now, I just want to procrastinate. It's, yeah, because if you guys have been listening to my episodes, you already know. Again, it's with the website and I like business cards too, and other marketing materials. And right now, after that fraud situation, I'm waiting for the new card so I can do round 3 of the Wix. I'm so close. And because I don't know, it's like that. Some people are like, yeah, you mentioned it so many times. That's the heart of the candle. And there's some, like lately, even going to friends' house and stuff, they burn a candle, and I've been paying attention because sometimes I'm like, you lit that candle like an hour ago and I still don't smell it. And so then it's like I'm looking at the candle, I'm looking at the recipe, I'm looking at the comparisons and things like that. And even how close do I have to put it to my nose in order to smell it? And so, yeah, the wick is the heart of the candle. It is so vital, so important. So, because I don't want, because yeah, like the candle smells great, but it's like it loses its value if I like selling it to customers and they light it and then it's like, no, I want them to gain the full experience of what I'm trying to provide. And I I expect nothing less. And again, like I'm hard on myself because being a black woman with a disability, everyone thinks less of me. Everyone thinks low of me. It's like when I'm in public and stuff, the way people look at me, or even I'm gonna talk about this event on the other channel probably, but went to this beautiful music event, but it was just kind of like the way some people were kind of, treating me. It's sad how since I'm younger, some people some people don't think that someone that looks like me or my age should have a disability or should walk like I do. And it's sad. Yeah. It's pretty sad. But and another reason why I need to write my story, I need to write the novel. I need to put this stuff in there because people need to wake up and listen and realize I'm human too. I'm living my life like everybody else. And I'm about to go over, so I'll just end here. But yeah, while you write your books, look within and think about the humanity in yourself as well as those around you. Take care, and I'll see you next time.